Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, this is our second video that I'm making about the housing market, specifically new construction here in Las Vegas. Now, I'm going to pull the map up here in a second, but I want you guys to know, unlike the first video, I'm actually going to tour homes that are more reasonably priced. So the homes actually in this community are in the $300,000 range. So I wanted to show you guys that despite the price point, right now what's happening in Las Vegas with new construction is completely unprecedented. And what's happened here, guys, essentially, and I'll go into that more in this video, is these people bid off way too much. And now they're stuck with an overwhelming and unprecedented amount of inventory. And I believe that all of these builders, because you got to ask yourself this question, why are they building homes? Why are they building so many spec homes, right? They can't survive with this type of inventory. So you got to ask why. And the only thing that I can think of is they're gambling on the Federal Reserve pivoting, right? Lowering interest rates, buyers come back into the market and things of that nature. Now, I believe two things are possible. The first thing, and I believe this is more possible, is there's not going to be a whole bunch of buyers. There's not going to be a whole bunch of money on the sidelines. And we're about to find that out this coming spring. And once they find that out, they're going to start realizing how much exactly they did bite off. Now, the second thing is that could happen is buyers do come back into the market, inflation goes back up, and the Federal Reserve has to do another round of quantitative tightening. If the Federal Reserve does another round of quantitative tightening, I believe that that will be grounds for a depression. So either way, you guys, Las Vegas right now has way too much inventory. And do me a favor, guys, before I continue, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below. I have about 3 hours to shoot this video before I have to drive 5 hours to Phoenix, and I'm really curious about Phoenix, but we're gonna stick to Vegas right now, you guys. So let me bring up a map just to show you exactly where I'm at. Let me show you where I'm at in Las Vegas. And remember, you guys, once again, and people have a hard time fathoming this, and it's really flattering, and that's kind of why I've driven here. But all of these houses, or most of these houses, do not have contracts. So, it's really important to understand that. But where I'm going is on the east side of Las Vegas near Henderson. So let me zoom in here. But this is the area, you guys, is Henderson. Let me zoom back out. As you can see, Vegas is here. So I'm going to the southeast towards Henderson, and we're going to take a look at some houses there because, as you guys can see, look at all of these new builds. So I'm going to be taking a look mainly over here, you guys. We're going to take a look at Lennar, KB, Tri-Point, Toll Brothers, but it's going to be mainly in this area. And again, I cannot say this enough. I went into the sales offices and asked them how many of these houses were under contract. So again, I want you guys to understand that the houses you're looking at, most all of them are not under contract. And I believe all of the builders in this area of Henderson and other areas in Vegas are overexposed and could potentially lead to bankruptcies, which I can see as a type of black swan event that will actually crash the housing market much more. So right now I'm actually in a KB community, and I'm going to take you guys down the street real quick just so you guys really understand, the magnitude of what I'm talking about. And these aren't necessarily poor quality houses. I'm walking these houses and the construction sites look very well taken care of. And I'll start panning around here. You guys see that? What are they doing, you guys? Why are they doing this? I don't get it. I don't understand this. This could be another ghost town. We could have another epidemic happen in Las Vegas with ghost towns. I am completely stunned. I knew that if I came to Vegas to give you guys that boots on the ground data, I knew that I would find a ton of houses, but I never expected, the magnitude of the building. And I was really, and you guys saw in the first video, we're talking about $1 million houses just sitting, right? And right now, these aren't $1 million houses in this neighborhood. They're about $300,000. There's various stages of construction going on here. When I drove around this community, I noticed maybe, a handful of these have been sold. So, imagine if you're those homeowners, and look at guys. I mean, you can see, it just goes on and on and on. This is, who's going to buy this, guys? Who's going to buy this? And again, even institutional investors are going to have a hard time purchasing places like this, even in bulk at a 20 to 30% discount. And the reason that is, guys, is generally with new construction, investors don't want new construction as far as cash flow, right? You can't really cash flow in this market with new construction, even with the 20 and 30% discount. And that's why we see Lennar offering so many price cuts with an inability to sell. And you guys see what I mean about the construction sites? You guys remember some of my Texas videos and how awful those construction sites were? And the funny thing with those videos is I had a lot of people comment like, oh, construction sites are always that horrible and dirty. And the fact is no, they're not. You know, there are builders that appear to actually build quality homes that take pride in their construction. And unlike Texas, you guys, I really feel like these homes are, you know, well made, carefully made, and you know, they're probably doing the right thing. I'm not an inspector, but just basing off of what I've seen in Texas, look at this street deck here, guys. Isn't this crazy? This is an entire community right now, an entire KB community right now that is just throwing money, you know, and building spec homes. I just am just really shocked, and I'm gonna come up here a little bit more to show you guys the other types of houses. But I really hope you guys are starting to see the reality of what's actually going on. So if you're in the Vegas area, if you plan on purchasing a primary residence, my thing is, guys, definitely sit tight, because I believe in a couple months that rude awakening is gonna hit them in the face, is gonna hit these new builders in the face. When that happens, that's when we get even crazier buying incentives and price cuts, even crazier than we have right now. Because remember, they can't hold on to this. All of these houses you guys see, they're not set up to hold on to this inventory. These are all spec homes. This is costing them money just sitting here. The amount of money that the new builders right now, you guys, are putting into Vegas, I can't put it into words. You know, I'm trying to get it on the camera and take you guys through this journey with me, but I just cannot tell you guys. See, that's another street. Isn't this shocking? These guys are gonna have to liquidate these houses in order to prevent this community from turning into the traditional Las Vegas ghost town. And you guys know that Vegas always booms during times like this. And we also learned the last time that Vegas usually gets hit the hardest. And can you guys see why? Look at all this reckless building. This is what I call reckless building. Let me kind of pan around here. Okay, so there may be some houses down that way that are already sold, but none of this, you know, none of this behind me. Look it up that street, all construction. You guys, all construction. This makes almost, you know, this makes absolutely no sense to me. It makes me feel like these people didn't even learn their lesson from the last housing market crash, from the last ghost town event that we had. So I don't see a lot of learning. I see a lot of neglect here, a lot of greed, and a lot of wishful thinking. So now what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna stay in this area of Las Vegas because, again, it's a much lower price point, and I'm gonna go try to find some additional builders that have communities just like this that are essentially just sitting here and rotting. All right, you guys, I'm in another community right now where there's Tri-Point, Toll Brothers, KB, and Lennar. Now I picked this one specifically because on one side of the street right here, it looks like, and down there further, we have basically people that have recently purchased a new construction home. And then to the right here, we have a whole bunch of flooded lots. On the other side of that are additional model houses as well. And the reason I'm right here is I wanna, again, just really caution anyone that's buying new construction right now, because as these new home builders continue to cut their prices, continue to offer additional buying incentives, it's really gonna hurt all of the people that recently purchased. Because again, remember what I'm saying, and I know I'm trying to really hit this point home, but these people will be trapped in their house with an inability to potentially refinance into a lower interest rate or sell their property. So right now, this is why I'm saying be cautious, be cautious, be cautious. And you know, we're really, the area that I took you guys to is in the hole. Let me show you guys. That's a slab right there. On the other side of that is a bunch of materials as well. This is something that I am just really bewildered about. I didn't believe that there would be this much money being dumped into here by so many different builders, basically YOLOing these properties and building, you know, an overwhelming amount of spec homes, hoping that those buyers come back. And I'm going to tell you guys, there's not 9 months of inventory here in Vegas. There is a lot more inventory in Vegas. And look at these houses, and you know, these aren't terrible houses, you guys. I'm going to take you guys through this other way over here. You guys can see those are mainly already sold back there, but in front of me is not sold, you know, and there's, you know, a community that way, there's a community behind this community. There are communities everywhere right now in relatively low price points. So some of these areas, you know, investors actually may pick up these lower price point homes because it will be easier for them to cash flow. The interesting thing is institutional investors, you know, are not doing so well right now comparably. Look at the stock market, look at all of the suffering. BlackRock suspended some rental purchasing as well. I just don't see demand coming back this spring, and I don't see institutional investors scooping up places like this, because here's the problem, guys. There's too much. That's really what I'm trying to say. That's why these investors can't save us this time. They're not going to be able to save us. There, quite frankly, is just way too much inventory for all price points. And the intriguing thing is, and I won't pull up the graphs on this video, you guys are probably sick of the graphs. Las Vegas is essentially an ecosystem of new construction crashing down. The last neighborhood I came in had really all phases of new construction. They had permitting, they had new construction, different phases, they had various homes sold. So if you guys want to see new construction and really what's happening, you guys got to come to Vegas. The building out here, because it's so dense, there's so much of it in a small area, in my opinion, it supersedes Texas. Now, I believe Texas has more new construction. It's the #1 state of new construction, but Vegas and these areas are just littered, you guys. Littered with spec homes and homes that appear to be, you know, right on that line of being complete. So again, 2023, you guys, and I hope you see this, I'm gonna walk you guys down this street right here, but 2023, we're gonna have a historical inventory dump that for some reason, people are gonna act like they didn't see coming. We, in my opinion, you guys, we don't have, you know, especially in this area, now I know some areas, yes, okay, but overall, we don't have an inventory problem. Y'all, we don't have an inventory problem. We have an affordability problem, right? And then way too many people were, you know, purchasing with the fear of missing out, running up prices. Way too many, you know, rookie investors came in the market and ruined everything for us. Look at this. See? See what I mean, you guys? Different levels of construction in a new home community that, you know, a lot of it is already sold. This puts a tremendous amount of pressure on anyone, you guys, anyone that has recently purchased. Now, I'm walking by a Tri-Point sales office. Let me see if I can show you guys, you know, really what it looks like over here. Okay, so this is Tri-Point Homes right here. You guys, they spend a lot of money on these sales offices and the technology and the layout. I'm gonna pan around here real quick. Take a look. All right, so this is Tri-Point, but look at that. Those are all models right there. All models, and on the other street, see? Look at this. How many people, guys? How many people do you see touring right now? How many? Zero. Zero people. So I have literally seen thousands and thousands of homes in pretty nice houses as well, just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. I'm even more sure now that if we strategically invest and we strategically prepare and understand the housing market, really research it, understand what a great deal is, I'm convinced, especially in metro areas like Las Vegas, we're gonna find the deal of our dreams. But we won't do that if we purchase too early. And the crazy thing is, guys, it could be a difference of a couple months. But you guys can see, you know, all that new construction as well. So really just blown away by Las Vegas. I'm gonna take you guys to one more area to show you, additional new construction, and it's all in the same area. You guys saw the map where I'm at, but I'm gonna take you to one more area and really kind of just hone in, and then we'll conclude this video. So in the spirit of affordable housing, I'm gonna end this video here in a townhouse community. So what's very interesting, and you know, the point that I'm really trying to make here, guys, is no one is safe if you're in Las Vegas. There are multiple areas, multiple price points of devastation that is about to happen. And I'm gonna pan left here in a minute. I don't wanna get run over by this tractor. I'm trying to be really careful. But look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at that. Do y'all see that behind me? It's everywhere. I cannot. And the thing is, guys, I planned on covering a lot more of Vegas, but I can't. Look at what's going on. You know, I drive a quarter mile and I stumble upon something like this. You guys can see in the background as well. It goes all the way down there. You see that? Looks like a little bit over there too. I cannot. I don't have enough time. I may come back out here and do, you know, and way more in-depth cover of this area. But the thing is I don't have time, you guys. I'm fixing to drive to Phoenix next. It's a 5-hour drive. I'm really worried because I have jet lag and I don't want to drive 5 hours, but I'm about to do that. I'm going to cover Phoenix, and then I'm going to drive back to Vegas to fly out to Houston, and then I'll start editing all of these videos. But you know, ultimately, y'all, here's my conclusion. You know, I think that it is more possible that institutional investors, you know, pick up more affordable housing like what's behind me, because it will be easier for them to cash flow. You know, overall, especially in places with so many ingredients, so much permitting, so much construction, an overwhelming amount of inventory, a rental market that's crashing. I really believe, you guys, this is gonna get crazy. No matter, even if buying demand does come back, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and listen to me, there's not gonna be enough demand that floods back into the market to save these people. They have put in way too much money into all this new construction without having buyers already lined up. I have never in my life seen so much money put into development like this, and nothing is happening. Almost every single place that I visited and sales office I visited had almost no one going in those houses. You guys, we have a huge problem right now in our housing market. There is so many rumors. Did you guys see the unemployment rate? Let me talk about the unemployment rate, and I'm gonna put out another video on this, but the unemployment rate today came in at 3.4%. Unemployment hasn't been this low since the 1960s. So we have a historical low unemployment rate, and we have quantitative tightening, and we have mass layoffs happening in the tech sector. So in other words, you guys, I believe this data is tainted. I believe there's someone out there trying to create a narrative so that people get trapped. And if people come back and flood in the market, if the Fed U-turns too quickly, you guys are gonna witness the biggest suckers rally in US history. You guys are waiting to see a nation of renters. That's how that happens. Fed U-turns too quickly, everyone foolishly runs back into the market. Fed says, oh, you guys didn't listen to me, we're gonna do quantitative tightening, and things get broken for a very long period of time. At least, you guys, that's my opinion. I'm gonna conclude this video. I don't wanna ramble too much, plus I have a super long drive ahead of me, but do me a favor again, you guys, like this video, shoot me some comments below. I really hope that these videos do well, because I would love nothing more than to travel across the nation to find areas just like this and report back to you guys. So once again, really appreciate you guys allowing me and supporting me to do this. If you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.